to kick off. Yes. It's time. Right here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name is Akan Usen.
And my name is Roberta. You can call me Ruby Rudy at the same time.
All right, so we're going to be doing this until about 7 o'clock. It promises to be a great time. Don't touch that dial, and I promise it will be worth your while.
Yes.
All right, so me and Ruby, we're going to be doing this and giving you the best beats, giving you traffic information.
Exactly.
Giving you news. You can use a bit of sports. Yes.
Yeah.
At a point in time, around 5:30, we'll be having Global Sports Update. We already have the news at 4
p.m.
And at 6, we'll be having some more news. And 7 o'clock, we'll have us taking the state news at 7. And just after then, we'll be handing over to Dario Anthony, who will take it up to 7 o'clock. So straight away, of course, just to remind you, we don't do this alone. We have the control room. We have the traffic managers.
Always on ground.
Yes, doing their bit to make sure Lagos moves forward. Okay, so we'll also have our live camera feeds right here from our big screens in the studio, in our studios actually, giving you real-time movement as we see it on the roads. All right, so straight away we'll be going to the roads. Let's see what's happening. Do remember you can be part of this. We're streaming live on YouTube at this time, Traffic Radio 961. So go there if you can. If you're not the one at the wheels, go there, see what we're doing. Give us a subscription, subscribe, click
and like,
and
share,
and share our posts. Okay, so so just do that for the love of Traffic Radio. So Roberta, help us with the numbers.
Okay, so to send us any WhatsApp message, you can do that by sending to 0809 9120777. I'll take that again for WhatsApp messages. 0809 9120777. And if you also want to call us, you can call us on 0915 387 7127. 0915 387 7127.
All right, so straight away let's go to the roads. Let's see what's happening at this time. All right, so we have, while the news was on, we had an incident report of an impediment. Yes. Roberta.
Okay, so at Ojuodo Inward Synagogue.
Okay.
And it's a mini tanker. It has a mechanical fault, and the mechanics are working on it as we speak.
Okay.
Loaded with diesel, but our officers are on ground managing the traffic, and thankfully there is no casualty. And it's not causing any form of there's no much traffic like that, so you just have to drive with patience and with guarantee that you get home safe.
Of course.
Yes.
Great one. So just watch out for that impediment as you head in that direction. Take care and just be very careful. I'm sure Control Room will furnish us with more updates as regards this impediment much later in the show. Okay, more updates. Let's see what's happening.
Okay, so we have updates on Usen and Okpiaifoh route. That's a movement from Araromi on Abeokuta Expressway inward Usen and Okpiaifoh underneath the bridge is a moving traffic. Now that is due to the massive return journey as we speak.
Alagba en route Usen and Okpiaifoh flyover bridge inwards Usen and Okpiaifoh roundabout, and Alagoton with return journey movement is also moving quite better.
So Mashalashi roundabout and adjoining routes are getting better moderately. Estates Gate on route Barrow Junction inward Okpeki is moving at a slow pace, attributes to, of course, the high volume of the traffic movement. Akonwanjo and Ponle inward Egbeda Junction is currently engaged with a high traffic flow, so you need to take it easy at that point. And yes, our officers are on ground managing the traffic situation, and so you can gain free flow as soon as possible. There's no record of any incident or impediment cited within the axis at this time.
Oh, I do remember for those coming in on the 3rd Mainland Bridge, yes, access is for those coming in from the island inwards the mainland. But if you are going from the mainland inwards the island, you have to go seek alternative routes. Yes, of course, that should be a cool bridge. Yes, from there you connect inwards the island. We'll go for a quick breather, and when we come back, most definitely we'll have more updates for you. This is Return Trip right here on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Akan Usen.
And I'm Ruby.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
In about 3 minutes, it will be time for Save Blood Arena. Yes, your show all about blood transfusion and every other thing between. And of course, that will be handled by Dele Agadumo, and that will run until about 5 o'clock. So I'll be clearing the scene at this time so that Dele Agadumo will, can take
over.
Yes, so we'll be right back after Save Blood Arena.
Jovia, am I willing to I talk my own now?
Come on, may I pass?
Now I they go, now let they go. Enter your change, I they shout now.
Driver, won't you allow me sit down before you move?
Okay, pass some money from the bag here. Oh, who give me 1,000 naira back? For many people, where will be? I will join you people new. Tori mo pariwo, I talk my own say I no get change.
Now me get down when they go VI.
If I start now, my money cannot touch it there. Don't you be all this one?
I know you yoga. Park ma come down.
I beg, park your boss. Make this come off my boss, I beg.
Driver, not try amo. It be like say you want me to collect your motor for illegal parking and you go still pay 20,000 naira fine if now your first time. And if you be regular customer, you go pay 30,000 naira fine.
I don't know that one, no guy. You gas wait tomorrow reach the nearest legal bus stop before I come down.
Conductor, close this door now. You won't make I fall.
I beg, no vex. I want pick passenger, no vex.
It be like say you never see the new rules for Lagos as you just they commit offense, they drive, they go. If you leave your door open and them catch you, you go pay 20,000 naira fine if now your first time. And if you be regular customer, you go pay 30,000 naira fine. Apart from this fine where you go pay, you go still do 1 month community service. I dey talk my own no.
Auntie, calm down. Are you just sabi all this thing? Shey they work for government?
I know they work for any government too. Now radio I dey learn all these rules. Now every day I dey listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
Okay, you don't see as they go. Put down for Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Make we say learn waiting they go.
Hello, baby, what's up?
Hello, honey, where are you?
Yeah, I'm coming.
It's late. Ain't you coming home tonight?
I'm coming home. I'm driving right now.
God! Don't drive! Don't drive!
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine. Okay, my friend has gone mental. Left the wife at home. Now he's gone flexing, drinking in the club. He's feeling like a star up in the sky, but real stars shine and never fall down. I pray that you understand what I'm trying to say. If you must drink alcohol, never drive, cause you got a family and they're waiting you to come home. If your girlfriend break your heart, no, you don't need alcohol. But if you must drink, don't drive. If you must drink, don't drive. I love Monty. Yeah, what I'm on baby. I said Monty. I love Monty. Yeah, what I'm on baby. I said Monty. If you get free, break your heart. No, you don't need alcohol. But if you must drink, don't drive. If you must drink, don't drive. I love Monty. Yeah, what I'm on baby. I said Monty. I love Monty. Yeah, what I'm on baby. I said Monty. If your girlfriend break your heart, just drink, don't drive.
Very beautiful Monday evening to you. Welcome to Safe Blood Arena on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This program is brought to you courtesy Lagos State Blood Transfusion Services. And during the course of this program, well, this is the 11th edition of the program. So it means that we've had 10 solid editions of the program. We've taken a look at blood. We've taken a look at the components of blood. We've taken a look at what happens when your blood is taken, the process it undergoes, the different screening tests that it undergoes, what happens to blood when it's not used or when it expires. We've taken a look at that. We've taken a look at the transportation of blood from the transfusion center, from the screening center to the hospitals or to the doctors, the process that it undergoes. We've taken a look at so much. We've taken a look at blood security and blood safety. We've taken a look also at voluntary blood donation. We've also had the highest blood donor in Lagos. We've taken a look at all of that. So much has been said about blood transfusion and blood donation and voluntary blood donation. We've also taken a look at the building of the blood donors community. So today we'll be continuing with everything that has to do with blood transfusion on the program. Today we're discussing ensuring patient safety through capacity building. We're expecting the Executive Secretary, Dr. Bodorin Oshikomaya. She's on her way, but we also already have the head of program, Oluwole Olatubi. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
All right.
Good evening, Lagosians.
Yes. Yeah. So I remember last week Monday you said there was going to be training for doctors, and I know it held. So how did it go?
Yes. Yeah, I remember I saw you.
5 days?
4 days.
4 days. Okay.
Yeah, I remember I also saw you in the facility.
Yes.
It took place at LCCI at Olopopo Road. We trained 200 doctors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every day or through the 4 days?
50 every day for 4 days.
Okay. Wow.
That's Monday of last week.
Last week Monday, yes.
To Thursday.
Wow.
And we had 50 of them in attendance, and the doctors were drawn from both the public health facilities and then the private health facilities. Yes, that's what we've been doing. For example, this week, we'll be training medical lab scientists. About 100 of them drawn from the private and public health facilities. And the whole idea is to, our vision, everything stems from our vision, which is to have a state where only safe blood is transfused in all appropriate health facilities. So all of these trainings are a result of gaps that we've identified, is all geared towards increasing the capacity of these medical health professionals to deliver on quality services.
So how many of these trainings do you have with medical personnel and stakeholders, maybe every quarter? Okay, let's look at the first quarter.
This first quarter.
Yes. How many were scheduled and how many of them have taken place?
So we scheduled 6. 5 have taken place. Before the medical doctors, we had a meeting with all the hospital blood transfusion committees in the various general hospitals. We made them understand their role in ensuring the availability of blood in their facilities. Before that, we had the quarterly meeting with all the screening concessionaires. Because collectively, we mentioned in our past interviews that we have private people coming just to increase the efficiency of the screening process. And we had a quarterly meeting with them to make sure that we're all on the same page. Right. And before then, we had a meeting with all the stakeholders meeting with all the accountants of all the general hospitals in Lagos State. Yes, because recollect that Mr. Governor was magnanimous enough to provide a subsidy of ₦1 billion to ensure that to keep the price of blood affordable to everybody, because he didn't want something that is essential to saving lives. He just kept despite the rising inflation and all that's been going on. So so that created a new kind of payment system. So we had to make sure everybody is on board exactly. And then before then we had the management meeting, because everything stems from the management under the leadership of our Executive Secretary, Dr. Bodri Oshikomaya, that brought all the heads of departments together. We had a training at Providence Hotel in GRA, a strategic retreat meeting, where we discussed the plans for 2024, identified the gaps and preferred solutions to meeting the gaps. Thank you.
So some of these trainings and, with people you work with, the personnel and other stakeholders, what is the essential goal of these trainings? Because some people will say, okay, so why don't you have trainings with maybe some of the, how do I put it now, the logistics personnel, aside from the doctors, because the logistic personnel, they move the blood from one place to the other, so a lot of them, you need to train them on how to handle these things, how fast should they go, and all of that. So what are the goals, aims of this training?
So the training is just, the goal is from the vision to ensure that only safe blood is transfused in all appropriate facilities. So we've identified everybody in this cycle, and we are training each and every one of them. The blood, the logistics people, they have guidelines. Anytime we see a gap, we bring them together and then we train them. We just don't go. And then a very beautiful thing about training is that we get the best of people, like the training we had for the doctors. Imagine we had the head of hematology at LASUT, a professor, come down to come and train the doctors on safe blood practices, and we were all amazed. You could see that from the questions, they learned so much. I mean, I don't think you could get it better anywhere. That's how much we invest. That's how much the present management under Dr. Bodri Oshikomaya believes in increasing capacity amongst everybody in the value chain in ensuring the safety of blood.
Okay, speaking of Dr. Bodri Oshikomaya, and she is here. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody in Lagos and outside Lagos listening to this wonderful program.
Yes, welcome to the program. We were wondering what happened.
Yeah. We're saving lives.
We know.
Always saving lives.
We understand that. That's why we're not too upset. All right, so quickly, what is patient safety in blood transfusion?
So, patient safety is a quality phrase, understand? And in layman's terms, we define patient safety as having the right blood or blood components or product to the right patient, transfused in the right quantity at the right time, and monitored even till after the transfusion takes place. So you could have somebody that, person needs blood, but are you giving the right type of blood? And that is where the training on appropriate clinical use of blood came up, that we just have with the doctors. What about the right volume? If somebody needs blood and you're giving blood per venture, somebody needs like 2 pints of blood and you give the person only one. That is not enough. It has not made that patient optimally fine. So what about at the right time? Somebody needs blood and needs it now, and you're like, no, let's manage and keep till and give the patient blood till later. So that one is a wrong timing of blood. So really, definition of quality really is the same thing with the definition of what patient safety in blood transfusion is.
Okay. So what is the role of the blood transfusion services in ensuring patient safety?
So the role of patient safety first is that we want the patient to have blood. And it's fine after the blood transfusion. We want the patient to be transfused, and it's also fine during the blood transfusion. So the blood transfusion service rule starts from the type of blood that is collected. So the blood must be collected from a well-assessed voluntary blood donor. So you can decide with a voluntary blood donor you are not fit for it. So we'll ask you a series of questions, like always say, a lot of questions. We'll test you, we will check your vitals to be sure that you are safe enough to give blood to the person that needs it in future. After that, we want to screen the blood to be sure that the blood is safe and devoid of any infectious agents. And then we also want to ensure that the blood is requested the right way and is transfused the right way. So we have a lot of standard operating procedures. If there is no rule, then nobody can break it. Yeah, so we have a lot of it. Throughout last year, we spent so much time developing guidelines and policies, standard operating procedures, and even what job aids, so that you don't need to start reading. It's on the board, you know what to do. Somebody needs blood, you need to group and cross match, how to do it. And so those are very, very essential things. It's one thing knowing what to do, another thing is knowing how and the process is to do it. And then the third thing is that we want to ensure that the blood is available. We can have all these beautiful materials and there is no blood. So we need to do a lot of advocacy. That is why we are here, and we are reaching out to everybody listening. If you are here listening to us, please, you can just help us spread the gospel of blood donation. Whatever we do, there is no blood there, we cannot implement these guidelines. So we need blood, and we need, but once this blood is collected, we can separate it into different components for those that needs exact parts of it to survive. And then we need to build capacity. We have had a lot of hands-on training. We had one last year. We're having one again this week. Good. We're having hands-on training for private medical laboratory sciences that work in the private blood banks. So you can have, as I said, all these SOPs. I don't know what to do. So we have hands-on training. We'll go through the standard operating procedures step by step, and we monitor the way they do it and how they do it. So all those things are our roles in ensuring that the patient feels safe during transfusion and even after transfusion.
So let's quickly go over the measures with which you ensure that the patient is safe during transfusion, or before, during, after transfusion. So let's go through the steps so people would know the measures put in place to ensure.
So the first measure is that you must have appropriately qualified personnel. So if you go to any facility and you don't think they're qualified, please don't hesitate to ask those that are there, is this person medically trained? You don't want quacks trying to prescribe blood, because blood must be prescribed by a medical personnel, specifically a medical doctor. So we don't want quacks prescribing it. And we don't want quacks collecting the blood from you. Neither do we want quacks processing the blood. So the first thing is that we want appropriately trained personnel. And I can assure you, in every licensed blood bank in Lagos State, be it private or public, we can assure you that there is an appropriately trained personnel. The medical laboratory scientists supported by the medical laboratory technician, and in some we have the hematologist manning those centers. The second thing we want to ensure is that we should have a hospital blood transfusion committee in any hospital that is transfusing blood. Without the hospital blood transfusion committee, you cannot do audits. You know, the major work of the hospital blood transfusion committee is to implement policies, to implement all these training materials that we have, and also to audit it, to evaluate what we've done. So let me give a beautiful example. We just taught them about the massive transfusion protocol, and somebody had severe hemorrhage, maybe a pregnant woman. It happens so all the time that a woman delivers and then is bleeding, and we are unable to stop the bleeding at that time. So while the obstetricians are trying to manage the patient, there are some processes. We must give a particular amount of blood with respect to the fresh frozen plasma, so platelets, and it's in some particular 1:1:1. So it's in some particular measures. So if you give, so at that time, once you activate the massive transfusion protocol, we say, okay, we need 6 units of red cells, that's the blood itself, 6 units of fresh frozen plasma, 6 units of platelet concentration. So by the time this management is done, we need to be sure, did the blood come in at the right time? Remember patient safety. Did it come in the right volume? Did the doctors administer it the right way? For example, the blood giving set you use for blood itself is not supposed to be the same blood giving set you are using for what you call the platelet concentrates. So another thing, the blood itself, is it at this particular temperature compared to platelet concentration that is at room temperature? It's not supposed to be kept in the refrigerator at all. So at the end of things like this, the hospital blood transfusion committee comes together to see if it was done the right way, and if it was not done, what can be done. So it's like a blood audit. So apart from that, they also help to ensure that there is blood available. Also too, we will talk about stakeholders meetings. Precious, we just want to have meetings. Like we've said, there's always something called feedback. We wait for feedback to come to us. Yes, through the hospital blood transfusion committee. But we also go back to collect feedback from them. Yeah, come, let's have a meeting. What has happened? Is there anything you want to tell us? How can we get things done? And the stakeholders meeting is a place for feedback, is a place for recommendations, is a place for innovative ideas that we all put into place. So that is also one measure. And back to it, capacity building. Nobody is too young to train. It's not about logistic people taking blood around. Really, by the next quarter, we will train them. Everybody should be trained to do the right thing, to ensure that safe blood is available for all that requires.
Awesome. I have one more question. Well, let me take one or two updates. We have this one from Ojuodo Synagogue. It's a mini tanker, has a mechanical fault, and the mechanic is working on it. The mini tanker is loaded with diesel. Well, we'll have traffic managers on ground to make sure that everything is safe. The backlog right now is at Ikotum roundabout. And from Ajigula Papa, the return journey rush has commenced. So from Marine Beach, we have a high influx of tankers moving inward Ijera, resulting in slow-moving traffic. Also have slow-moving traffic from the ascent of Marine Bridge to Total through the diversion corridor. Boundary roundabout is a slow-moving traffic as a result of the closing hour rush and commercial activities. Impediment is negative, while traffic managers are very much on ground controlling the traffic through their various choke points. And at Maryland, we have very high influx, but it's still a good one. Also, same at Ijaye, Iward, Ogba will also have very high influx, but it's still okay. Those on the third mainland bridge coming from the island is accessible right now to the mainland, and it's still a very good movement. On Ikorodu Road, well, Ojota will have it very good as well, and no impediment at all. It's still moving well. Head to Iwada Jota on the service lane. We have it slow, very slow as a result of bus stop activities, but we'll continue to keep you updated. All right, so finally, let me ask you this about the training. How will the patients feel the impact of the trainings? Do you have, aside from the social media community base. Do you have times when you bring members of, some members of the blood donation community come for some of this trainings or attend some of this trainings, so at least show them what to do, enlighten them more on what to do and how to get more people on board?
So yes, we do. First of all, there are two questions you've asked.
Yes.
So first of all, we do have stakeholders meetings for our blood donors.
Okay.
Because automatically, when our blood donors start giving blood, they become advocates,
yes,
as in of blood. So we call them together to have stakeholders meetings, stroke trainings where we teach them how to talk about blood, how to answer questions, so that what they are not sure of. No, sometimes voluntary blood, you just want to do it. Sometimes you don't know the reason why you are doing it. We have a lot of them like that. So we tell them the reason, the advantages, how to answer questions, how to refer them to other people when they cannot answer those questions. So we do that at least twice a year. We usually do it towards the World Blood Donors Day or the National Blood Donors Day. So we have the World Blood Donors Day coming in June. By May, we would have had a small gathering for the voluntary blood donors. And then the National Blood Donors Day is in December. And so by November, we'll have another one. We usually do it close to that period so that we can put them, they are stakeholders. We tell them these are our plans. We make them a part of the plan. They are our team. The plan to celebrate the National Blood Donors Day and the World Blood Donors Day. So the second question is, how can the patients feel the effects?
Yes.
It's a very subjective thing, I won't lie to you.
Okay.
Very subjective. The first way is we get feedback from patients. The feedback, we get positive feedback from patients. Or if you do not get positive feedback, there's a reduction in the negative feedbacks. 2 ways.
Okay.
Some people will be willing to say, oh, I was transfused with blood before now, especially our regular donors. Before now, when they give me the blood, nobody monitors me. They just do it once, they put up the blood and they go away. But I noticed that the nurse kept coming to check me up. And so there's something different there. Or you notice that the initial complaints, especially through the nurses, are not there. Usually they would have come. Does she come out? We gave somebody blood. Person was shivering. There was a blood transfusion reaction. It reduces. So it's a balance of the two of them. The second thing is there's a general well-being of our patients, and the number of blood transfusion reactions, or the number of the patients, or the number of adverse reactions from the donors also reduces. The third thing is we have been having a special test called extended red cell phenotyping. So it's special because we are able to know antigens, those things in blood that could cause damages. As we're doing it, we are noticing already, I will assure you, there is a reduction in antigens, things that causes blood transfusion reaction. And we are doing this test for our patients living with sickle cell disease. So what we used to notice before, we are not seeing them. And so we can see. So the first one is feedback. There could be bias, but we still hold on to it. And the second thing is quantitative through a test. And we're also seeing positive changes. Thank you.
Okay. That sounds like good news all through.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy to tell everyone.
Yes, sounds like good news all through.
Yes.
So this is also an encouragement to all people out there who would like to be a part of the voluntary blood donation drive. Well, we'll be reading out the appropriate information, how you can get in touch, and how you can become a voluntary blood donor and join the community and also be an advocate. Okay, even if you are not eligible to donate, you can also be an advocate.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes. So if you're not eligible to donate blood, you can also be an advocate and help get more people on board to donate blood. Okay, so do we have any other information? I know that you just finished the training for the doctors last week.
We have another one. The scientists from tomorrow.
Okay, that's for the lab scientists?
Yes, for the lab scientists.
From tomorrow.
From tomorrow.
Have your work cut out for you.
Yes, the earlier we started, and we do this regularly every year, just in case. There's a lot of jackpot syndrome on ground. We don't know who has left. So we don't want to trust those we trained last year. They might have just taken the beautiful training we've had and gone to implement it in their jackpot world. So we have to continue training. Also, there's a tendency for people to forget things if they're not doing it regularly.
Yes.
So we try to do not that we try, we actually do go on, around the monitoring enforcement subcommittee. They go around to evaluate those activities.
Okay.
But it's possible that some people are not doing it regularly and they only assume or tell us that they've done it. So it's also good to remind them of the process. Also, really, every time things change, there are upgrades to past processes that are being done. So if there's an upgrade, we have the last training till the next training to find it out, and then support them and upgrade the training by the next time the training comes up. So whatever we've taught them last year, yes, beautiful. If there are changes this year, we'll add it to this year's training. So really, it's something that should happen all the time, and that's what you try to do all the time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Boduri Oshikomaya, for coming on the program today and for throwing more light on all of these questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And so that was the voice of the Executive Secretary, Lagos State Blood Transfusion Services, Dr. Boduri Oshikomaya. And we also have the Head of Programs, Mr. Oluwole Olatubi. Thank you also.
Thank you very much, for having us.
All right. So their Facebook page, that's the Lagos State Blood Transfusion Services Facebook page, is Lagos Blood Transfusion. You can go to the Facebook page if you have questions or you need more information, Lagos Blood Transfusion. And on Instagram is Lagos State Blood Transfusion. On X is Lagos BTS. And the telephone number, which if you call and nobody picks, just send a message, you get a response, is 0806 920 7914. Again, 0806 920 7914. So that's our package today on Safe Blood Arena on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. My name is Dele Agaduma. Big thanks goes to Victor Terry and executive producer Tayo Akan.